This is Iran shooting on target number 1. The top-ranked mixed team. In the compound competition here in Beijing. Somaya was top-ranked in the individual as well, I know, and she got upset by her teammate.
Yes, these things happen if you have a really strong team. I know a few years ago when I was competing, there were 3 British archers, and our scores were always really, really close, and we always seemed to come up against each other in the quarterfinals, semi-finals, or even the finals. It's good though to have such good competition within your own team. Raises the standard.
So the same format for this mixed team gold medal match here in Beijing. It'll be 16 arrows in 4 ends of 4. Highest score wins.
Yes, and we've already seen how quickly and easily that can turn around. Well, that's the way to start.
Takhanova starting us off with a 10 over on the Russian side of the line. Two 10s from Russia. Two arrows each, Russia with a 1-point advantage. I know Takhanova has shot some of the World Cup circuit as well, I believe.
Yes, she has. Again, very, very experienced and incredibly successful archer.
Still only 28 years of age.
Bronze medal, of course, in London 2012. And winner of the compound women's team in the World Championships 2 years ago.
So I needed a 10 to start off perfect there. Didn't quite get it. 39 points for Russia from their first 4 arrows.
Every arrow being cheered. It's a solid 9. 1 point difference.
And 1 point, as we've seen, means not too much after one end of competition here.
No, definitely not. You can't afford to say that you've won now. Another 3 ends to go.
So Iran, who were the top seeds, they beat Ukraine, Brazil and Great Britain to find themselves in this gold medal match. Russia, meanwhile, 3rd seeded. Overall, Japan, France and Italy fell before finding themselves here in the arena.
I think there's been some hard-fought matches for both teams. I think the French match was particularly tight. But they got here, and they're in the gold medal match. Soon be one of these teams soon be able to call themselves world champions.
After this, of course, we've got 2 more world champions to crown. The individual winners of the compound men's and women categories. No bronze medal matches here. They were dealt with earlier in the week after the elimination, so just the finals to follow.
She'd be really disappointed with that.
Yeah, that looks out, so.
Now we're going to disagree on this one. I thought it might look in. The 10. Might help Russia increase their lead, though.
Potential 3 or 4 point lead here.
And a 10. He shoots 52 pounds and he's just drawing it with one arm. That's a 9. She's back in the yellow bit. Back in the gold.
Two beautiful arrows. Malacina there. The last 2 arrows from Iran were in the X ring in the middle of the 10. That's a ring used to define world records when the score is perfect, or tiebreakers in qualification. When you're aiming, are you aiming at the X or the 10?
Do you know, somebody once said to me that all you should do is just aim at the yellow bit, and sooner or later you'll make a mistake and you'll get a 10. I think your brain then automatically lines up with the middle. So you don't aim at the ring, you aim right in the middle of the target. But you try and get everything inside the yellow bit. As I said, sooner or later you make a mistake, you get a 10.
As we were talking there, Kozlov, he shot an 8, negating any advantage gain.
Yeah.
Russia could take off that wayward first arrow from Iran's Somaya Abbaspour. And we'll leave that scoreline up for you, because we do have a star on that arrow, that 7 or 8 liner. But it's been confirmed as 7.
You were right and I was wrong.
I won't keep
Maybe I was just being hopeful.
So Russia maintain their 1 point advantage thanks to the judge confirming that first arrow of Iran's was out in the 7, and Iran will start us off in this third end of the Compound Open mixed team gold medal match here in Beijing.
Great turn. I think she just looked like she really committed to that shot. Yeah, she has. I don't know whether it's just a little bit of stress that's creeping into her shot, or whether actually she needs to adjust her sight a little. Things are often different between the practice field and the finals field. A little bit of a breeze can make a difference. Even if it's just that you're a little bit aware of it, rather than it actually affecting the arrow.
Pace with Iran, 18 points to 19 points in this. And then that'll maintain the 1 point advantage.
Great shooting.
This kind of match play is really about strength ratio. 1 point in the last end means a lot more than 1 point.
Yes. And it's about trying to be as consistent as you can be, preferably consistent within the 10. But it's about that consistency and making sure the last shot that you shoot is as good as the first. I think if that was me, I would adjust my sight just 1 click.
She's taking longer than she was in the first 2.
Yes.
So about 17 seconds out to 21, 22.
Yes, and I don't think that's really, it doesn't seem like her.
Salvo at 39. This match is level at 130. Iran and Canada.
Iran and Russia. And the Russians coming off the line, just giving themselves a little bit of a break away from the shooting line, the pressure of the shooting line. Walk back off the line, relax, take a deep breath, prepare themselves for the last 4 arrows. Because with the scores all level, that's all it is just a 4-arrow match.
So we're back to how we were at the start of this gold medal final here in Beijing. Scores effectively at 0. And 4 arrows to decide the world champion title.
She wants to be sure of this. And she is.
Those 9s from the last end, they don't matter. That 10 matters.
And a 10. Well done, Russia. Just out.
Trailing by 1 at least. Is Iran.
Trailing by 1, but 2 arrows to go.
2 10s here will seal the title for Russia. Anything less will give Iran a chance. That's a 9. That's caught the edge.
Scores tied again, I believe.
10 here will guarantee at least a shoot off.
That's a 9.
So that's the door cracked a bit open. 2 10s from Iran.
To win the match. 10 and a 9 to tie it. That's tense for the archers. That's a 9.
So a 10 now needed. Alicina.
To tie the match.
To tie the match and send it to a tiebreaker.
And he gets it.
That's it. Not the end.
Both teams with 7 seconds left on the clock. All 4 archers trying to make absolutely sure of shooting their very best arrows for that. And we've ended up in a tie break.
So now what will happen is both teams will come to the line and shoot 1 arrow per archer. Alternately, 1-1, 1-1. The total score, the highest total score of those 2 arrows wins the match. If they're tied, it'll be the arrow closest to the middle. So we're down from 16 arrows. We had 4 arrows in the last end to see who won it. Now we're down to 2 arrows.
Yes. Wow.
So Russia did start stronger in this match, but let Iran get back into it. I mean, there was never much of a lead, was there?
No, I mean, they had a single point lead, which they managed to maintain for just the first 2 ends, and then Iran made back that 1 point, and here we are in a tie-break situation. I always like tie-break situations. It's fun being part of them as well as watching them. They get a fresh target face, of course.
And instead of having the 2 target faces, we'll just have the 1. So your aiming point changes a little bit.
Just a little bit, yes.
How much difference will that make?
It'll make a small difference, and for the standing archers particularly, they may well choose to adjust their standing position on the line. It's a little bit more difficult if you're a wheelchair archer, but even some of the wheelchair archers will just move the angle of the chair just a tiny bit to try and accommodate. But they'll have practice for this. And of course they put a fresh target face up as well, because of all the arrow holes in the existing face wouldn't be so clear if they have to measure.
Or choose on a tiebreaker on a line cutter.
Yes.
So Russia starting us off, just 40 seconds on the clock for their 2 arrows. Wow.
Wow. Under pressure, shoots a 10.
Absolute marker as well.
Yeah. Given her partner something to aim at.
And a strong contender for closest to the middle if it should come to that.
Yes.
That's an 8.
8.
So a 9 here to secure a world champion title for Russia.
Oh, fantastic. Fantastic.
Perfect. Awesome. Brilliant shot, and they know it.
Yes.
Let Iran shoot that final arrow, but there's nothing
Iran can do. And he gets a 10 to end. Fantastic, well deserved from the Russians. They really held it together in that tie break, which was fantastic. And they've shot brilliantly all the way through.
So that's winners for Russia in a shoot-off, a tie break. They started strong in this gold medal match in the mixed team competition. Iran leveled things up at the final goalpost. The 2 teams shot 2 arrows to decide the title. Russia with 2 perfect ends to come away with gold.